Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to go over something that maybe might help some people, maybe might not help anybody. But this is a 2008 Street Glide. 2008 was a unique year, first year for the throttle-by-wire, 96-inch engine, 6-speed transmission. So what I want to go over with today is, even if these bikes are well taken care of, as you can see, this one's very well taken care of. Even if it's kept indoors, even if it's pampered, things are going to go wrong. So this bike's starting to spit and sputter. The customer's concerned about it, and so my first inkling would be to check the intake manifold seals. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate how to check that for you. So what I'm going to do is fire the bike up. You'll have to listen closely to what I'm saying because it's going to get a little bit noisy. So I'm going to go ahead and crank the bike up. Alright. Let's let it warm up a little bit and get stable. I'm just going to take regular old brake and parts cleaner. You'll notice I've got a red tip on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here as close as I can to the intake manifold, and I'm only going to spray in short bursts. I'm not going to try to overload the intake manifold or the breather, because I don't want to get a false reading. So I'm just going to let the bike settle down here for just a minute. All right, the bike's warmed up a little bit now. We're just going to go ahead and spray short spurts of brake cleaner at the intake manifold on the front. Hear the motor change. Do it again. Hear the motor die. There it went. Little short bursts. Okay, so we know with that we've got a leaking intake manifold seal. So in addition to repairing that, the customer wants to put a tuner on it, so we're going to be installing a ThunderMax as well. So stay tuned, we'll carry you through this whole repair and ThunderMax install. All right, we got the tank off. Now we're pulling the intake manifold off. It's all original, probably never been taken off. And we'll get that off here and we'll show you how to replace the seals and put it back together. All right, there she is. So the front one was the one that was leaking. Let's see if we can see a visual of it. You can pretty much see it right here, how dark that is. That's where it was leaking. And that seal's hard as a rock too. You can see that rubber got hard over the years and stopped sealing. So we'll be on our way to the next task. All right, we're back on this 08 Street Glide, and we are going to go ahead and run the ThunderMax up. I don't foresee any problems, but we've already got the map installed. Let's go ahead and hit the monitor button here, and let's go into map editing, and let's clear anything that's in there. And we're going to start from a fresh point here. And let's go ahead, make sure we're on the right screen. AFR versus engine temperature. Okay, that's where we want to be. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the bike, and let's keep our eyes on AFR target and AFR real time rear and front. Okay, here goes. we're showing a little strangeness on the rear cylinder, but let's let it warm up, see where it goes. Okay, I've run into this before. I know what the problem is, and I'm about to show you what the problem is. It just dawned on me. Hold on for a second and I'll show you. Okay, this is a 08 Street Glide. This is one of the, what they call a bastard year. It's the first year for throttle by wire, the last year for the old style frame with the 150 rear tire. And I think what they were doing was getting rid of some old stock or some parts on the shelf. But this is a factory set of headers that came from the factory with 18 millimeter O2 sensor ports. Now, if you'll notice, this rear cylinder Y's off and goes that direction and that direction, whereas the front cylinder obviously comes out in one place, comes down, and then the front and rear join together here. What's happening, and the reason why that rear cylinder is showing extremely rich conditions, is because the ThunderMax is throwing fuel at it because it's pulling air in this way, believe it or not. This exhaust is pulling air in this way, going right across the O2 sensor and giving it a false reading. So the ThunderMax is throwing fuel at the rear cylinder. So there's not going to be anything I can do to make this bike run like it's supposed to at idle. Going down the road, anything above about 2,000 RPMs, it's going to be fine. But in order for that to be corrected, that would be for any tuner, to be quite honest with you. These headers will have to be replaced. It's not going to hurt the bike. The bike's not going to be damaged in any way. But as far as for me and what I have to work with, that's as far as it's going to go. So this is one of those instances where I can prove my point. And well, I don't really have to prove it. I know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what's going on. This header from the factory, and you could try it at home if you guys have a bike like this. If you take a tissue and hold a tissue in front of this left muffler and hold a tissue in front of this right muffler, the tissue will flap back this way on the right side and flap that way on the left side. It's pulling air in on this side. They all do that at idle. So that's where the problem is. And let me fire this thing back up and demonstrate what I'm talking about. You'll see it bouncing, trying to bounce in and out. But let me show you. All right, I'm going to start it back up, and I want you to look at the rear. I'll actually bring the throttle up so you can see it. Okay, watch your AFRs. You'll notice the front right in spec. The rear is way out, way rich. The ThunderMax is throwing fuel at it at idle. That's the target. That's what it should be seeing. It is seeing that on the front, not on the rear. Now I'm going to raise the RPMs a little bit. See it come right into play? Because it's flowing enough air across that O2 sensor to get a correct reading. That's about 13 or 1400 RPM, about 1500 RPM. So just off idle, it's going to act correct. There's nothing I can do about it. There's not a thing in the world. Unless we block off that one side over there. But then the guy will have a 2-in-1 that won't sound as good. But whatever, we'll see what happens. But as far as about 1500 RPMs, it's acting perfectly. Even the closed loop core correction is working now. So that's where it's going to be. It's got to be above 1500 though. As soon as it crosses over the 1500 threshold, it goes right into back. So, there you have it. You just learned something today. So that's the way that one's going to be. If the customer decides to put a set of headers on it, we'll do that. If he doesn't, he'll still be happy. The job is fine. There's nothing wrong. I just can't make it 100% at idle. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Steve Carr, and I'll talk to you later.